Good morning, everybody. This here is Rick with MP3 Jesus. You know, last video we did, we looked at a very cost-effective Fender Squier Telecaster. I had gotten a 12-string for our ministers' conference, and it just was sort of thin on sort of what it could do. It didn't give me a lot of options as far as variety of sounds. So I got that Telecaster. Boy, I mean, that really has a lot of different tones you can get out of it. But I wasn't done looking at 12 strings. You know, the 12 string I got was a Dan Electro, and I got it on sale at Guitar Center for about $300. Great guitar, sounds just creamy, buttery smooth. But I was also looking at some other options at the time, and I was really looking for something that was super affordable, like you see them on eBay. I mean, super affordable. And this is a Cozart, as you see, Cozart, and this is one of those just over $100 free shipping sort of guitar. And I was thinking, goodness, can you really build a guitar for that little money and have it sound good? Yeah, I actually think you can. Now, out of the box, these guitars do need a little TLC. It's just the way it's going to be. Frankly, so did my Dan Electro. I still had to do the same sort of work I did on this. I had to do on that. Take the strings off, reset the neck, check everything, make sure it was, you know, as good as it could be. Same amount of work there went into this. I had to do a little work leveling the frets on this guy, a little, which I didn't have to do on the Dan Electro. But you know, all in all, I think what I'm getting out of this guitar is pretty special. So we're going to run the same sort of test that I did with the Telecaster. I've got my Line 6 amp here. I've got basically 3 clean tones. We're going to skip the 4th clean because it's really a crunchy sort of blues sound, and it really doesn't go with the 12 string. And we're going to skip all the metal tones because it's really, again, doesn't fit with the 12 string. At least not in my opinion. But we're going to run through the various settings. It's got a 5-way switch, so we're going to run through each sound on each setting of the amp. We've got, again, 3 clean tones. We're going to run the bridge pickup, combined bridge and middle pickup, middle and neck, and then neck. And just see the different sounds we get. Not going to spend a ton of time playing because, boy, it can get really long here if we're not careful. I'm going to leave everything turned up all the way. The amp is flat, so there's no tonal adjustment on the amp, and reverb is set to about 50%. So what you're getting, I think, is a really good representation of a good flat tone that you could possibly get out of this guitar, out of your amp. Okay, so let's start. Basically, just run through a few chords here and see what it sounds like on each of these settings. Join these 2 pickups together here. Just the middle pickup. This is where I think this really starts to come alive for me, is when we get into these top pickups here. This is a little bit thin, in my opinion, what I'm hearing. Of course, it may be exactly what you're looking for, but for me, I think this is on the along the thin side and a little too bright for me. But when we start getting to the mid and the neck pickups, that's where I think this really starts coming into its own. Okay, so that's our first tone on the amp. Let's go ahead and switch over to our second one. We're going to start back again here at the bridge. Very, very bright. Join these two together here. Running straight on the mid here. Two here. Just on the neck now. Okay, and our last tone, this is even brighter, I believe, and even thinner down here on the bridge. So, again, not my favorite pickup on this guitar, but when you get up into here, boy, it's really creamy. I really like it. Join these two together now. Just the middle now. Join these two here. All the way up now to the neck. So that's basically an overview of the sounds we're getting out of this Cozart 12-string. Really, really neat guitar for not a lot of money. I was very, very, very impressed. We talk about playability, which is really the key, right? So we want it to play easily, and with a 12-string, that's always been the challenge. We want it easy to play, and we want it to sound good, and I think we're hitting both of those, and it's a fraction of the cost of what you pay at like Guitar Center or some of these other places. Really, really good option. And if you don't mind putting a little bit of TLC into the project, I did have to basically, did replace the strings too. So we got new strings on this. I dropped all of these down and started from scratch. I believe it could use a little work on the intonation. All of those adjustments are right here. It's just a matter of putting in the time to do it. And at the end of the day, what I have is an extremely playable 12-string, and everything plays well. Bar chording on this is not a problem, which is pretty cool. That's always a challenge I've found on 12 strings, is really being able to bar chord cleanly. One of the songs we play at church is something my dad taught me, and it's Amazing Grace to the House of the Rising Sun, and that's got this F chord in there. I'll play a little bit of that just so that you can hear that this really does work well, even if you're having a bar chord. So there you go. I really like this guitar. For the money, I just don't know. I don't know how you could go wrong with something like this. If you are learning how to set up guitars, man, it's another great option. You can get something like this. All the core that you need, the bones, I guess you'd say, they're all there. And I got to tell you, right out of the box, it was playable, but I also knew it could be much more playable with just a little love and attention. And at the end of the day, I have something that is going to really be something I enjoy playing. Well, I guess that's going to wrap this up. My name is Rick Eutsler here with MP3 Jesus. Take a look at the website. If you have any questions, you can definitely reach out. And remember, we're here to help you guys that want to get involved in leading and learning how to play worship songs. Definitely take a look at our Facebook page, because that's where I'm going to be putting a lot of attention on some sort of like daily lessons or maybe weekly lessons or something like that to help you guys get started. For now, I'm Rick Eutsler with MP3 Jesus. Thanks for watching.